Hail brothers, Amphibious here, coming at you live to discuss what we mid-enjoyers need in the upcoming 7.41e, the new patch. Now, of course, I have no idea when it's going to drop, but I can tell you right now that the few things that we're definitely going to need, and I'm only going to touch on a few heroes. I'm going to try to only touch on a few heroes because I don't want to waste your time with these videos, which sometimes lean into the direction of the schizophrenic. Now, that's a good thing. Welcome to the channel. The first thing we, and indeed the entire map, needs all roles. This applies to all roles. Just the robustness of a match. We need a significant nerf or alteration or change to the Invoker shard, the Ghost Walk shard. Why? Why, Amphibious, you might ask? Because it's retarded. It's retarded. And you know it's retarded. You do nothing, right? And you just farm and put pressure on the lanes with your it does too much damage to the creeps. It shouldn't do that much damage. They can alter it in a few ways. They can alter the shard. They can focus the quas. That's essentially the quas shard, right? So you can just focus it on another quas spell, which would very likely make invokers fighting more powerful. Let's say if they put it on the cold snap or something, maybe a cold snap gets a charge, like you get 2 charges of a cold snap or whatever, which sounds really powerful. It's not all that powerful. It would be fine, but it's just not. It's too much to do, and it's a brain dead way of just farming and putting pressure on the map, and I'm not a big fan of that. What they could do is they could let's think about this together. What spells, off the top of my head, what spells can they put the shard on? Well, they can just put it on the cold snap and you get 2 charges. If you get the shard on Invoker, you get 2 charges of cold snap. This might even open up, maybe potentially, like support Invoker, pause for Invoker. Why not, right? With a double cold snap, you just build into Tornado cold snap build right away, burn, and there you go. Classic pause for Invoker. What else could they put it on? I mean, I can't really think of anything else. I think the Quas Agonyms is stupid. The Ice Wall, well, it's not that stupid, it's fine, but the Ice Wall, it gives more control, but it's not strong enough. So maybe you do something else with the Quas Ags and you put the Ice Wall on the shard. I can see that happening, and maybe you reduce the root or something. I don't know. Look, I'm not a Valve employee, okay? And this is supposed to be not an exhaustive video, so I'll just leave it at that. But definitely they need to just nerf it. I think if they nerf it, it's great. And as an Invoker player, an Invoker main, you might say, yeah, sure, it's gonna hurt. I mean, it's very easy to just especially in pubs, right? Even at the highest level, I think in pubs, you just put pressure on the side lanes with the Invoker, and you just farm passively, just walking around the creeps, and it does more damage than the Radiance. I think way more damage. I'm not even gonna look up the numbers now. Well, let's look up the numbers now. Yeah, so like I said, the shard, Ghost Walk shard on Invoker does the Ice Wall damage, which max level Ice Wall is 78, and the Radiance, right, 78 damage per second DPS, and the Radiance does 60 damage per second. So that's retarded, obviously. Okay, I mean, sure, it's only active while you have Ghost Walk, so you can't really fight in Ghost Walk and so on and so forth, but it's way too much damage. They need to change it. Now, these are the other things that we mid players need for the mid lane. We need a I just learned this new term, I hope you don't mind. Is this okay if I use this term? We need a few glow ups. So Primal Beast Glow Up. I would like to see a Primal Beast Glow Up. Why? Because I love playing the Primal Beast. It's a hero that in my experience, I don't have that many games with him, but it was extremely fun, and it fits my personal preference for a playstyle extremely well. So it hits 6 and just wants to be constantly active, low cooldown spells, fights a lot on the map, provides a lot of control and not so much damage, but it's like a tank frontliner. It's great. You can, it's kind of like an offlaner from the mid lane, which are my favorite types of heroes to play. So what they could do with this, they could bring back some of the stomp damage that he had. You know, I forget the name of the spell, but the second spell that he has, that he just pounds the ground and he does damage, you can't attack, and it only works when you walk. They can do that. They can make the scale maybe off of move speed or something, but I'm not sure what else they could do with a hero to not make it overpower. I think if you just tweak that spell slightly, I think it can really bring the hero back, and it's a great hero. But right now I think it has too many bad matchups. I think it's too niche of a pick. You can just get destroyed by too many mids. So I think what the spell would change is it wouldn't necessarily improve your laning, but you can cut the lane a lot better. And even as a mid laner, right, like Malruin style, you can do that, and that would be great. Now the Leshrac is not in a bad spot, it's in a pretty decent spot, and the big problem with this hero is that it usually seems to do too much damage if they give him anything. Okay, it just does too much damage. But even so, I would like to see a bit more, just a bit of a glow up on the Leshrac. You just put a little bit on it. You just put a little bit on it. Okay, you don't have to go crazy. Just put a little bit on it. Maybe you make the explosions just happen in a shorter time span, so it like the hero's burst is better. You know, I think it's a very counterable hero. And you can still kind of, I don't think it would be overpowered. I think it would be wonderful because it's one of my favorite mid heroes, but I rarely get to play because there's just honestly stronger options, right? So the Leshrac needs a glow up as well, which brings me to my third hero that I think absolutely needs a glow up. And I don't understand why this insult to the Void. And the Void, I can tell you right now, the Void would not stand for this insult for much longer. The Void Spirit is in desperate need for a glow up. Now the hero isn't bad mid, but compared to his brothers, by far the weakest of the spirits. And why? Because it was a little overtuned when it first came out and used to dominate. Who wasn't when they came out? Am I losing my marbles here? Who wasn't overtuned, brother? They were all overtuned. Are you telling me that in the year of our Gaben 2026, the Void Spirit is below the Earth Spirit in terms of utility mid? And you think this will stand? You think the Void will tolerate this kind of an insult? I can promise you, brother, it will not. So, Void Spirit, as a representative of the proud peoples of the Void, needs a glow up. Free Voidistan. I want you to, if you're watching this video, I need you to say it with me, free Voidistan. And the Void Spirit needs a glow up. Now, I have a few ideas. And one of them is the Aghanims isn't strong enough. And level 25 is nowhere near strong enough. Why doesn't he get charges on his first spell? He can just get charges. There's just utility. It's not that much damage. He just gets a lot more control. Right, with the Aghanims, or maybe the Shard gives him an extra charge on the first spell. Maybe the Axe doesn't give him a silence and 2 charges on his third spell, which does AoE silence now. Maybe the Axe just gives him more of his ultimate, so he can be more aggressive. And would that make him a little bit overtuned? Time will tell. Time will tell. Are you the Oracle? Are we supposed to believe that you know the future? The viewer who's arguing about this with me in the comments, which is 0 because I usually get between 0 and 1 views on my videos, and that's fine. That's completely fine. And I've got one very strong, aesthetically pleasing fan. Between 0 and 1 very strong, aesthetically pleasing virile fans, and that's great. But the Void Spirit can easily you get the eggs, you get another charge on your ultimate. That would not be too strong, okay? Maybe it would be a little bit strong. Maybe it would be a bit strong, but not that strong. Maybe you get 2 charges on your first spell with a shard. Now you have a very strong, you have a top of the pile S tier spirit brother hero again, right? You've got Ember right now, which in my opinion is the strongest spirit hero. Then you've got Storm, which is a close second. And the Storm is great. If you have a great game, Storm is the strongest spirit hero, by far, in my opinion. The best scaling, and he has a mini black hole. You build the Aghanims, great, right? And as long as you don't lose too many stacks, you just actually have mana to make plays in a team fight, and you don't jump in and run out of mana, or like you jump twice, kill a sport, and then you're out of mana and useless, right? But if you're behind from the Storm, it's a kind of a high risk, high reward type of spirit hero, it seems like to me. The Earth Spirit seems fine. I've never played Earth Spirit. It seems fine. I think it's great. I think it does a lot. It's tanky. It's probably one of the strongest team fighters of the brothers. The Ember Spirit, obviously I'm spamming. If you're watching the channel, you might be aware of the fact that I'm spamming the Ember Spirit mid now for all my... It will be at least 50 games. And that will be my philosophy going forward. Every patch, I will spam one main mid hero for 50 games. Just to kind of like develop an expertise with it. And right now it's Ember, so I've just learned how to play Ember. I've been having great success with it. The hero is very, very strong. I was playing it wrong before. So the Ember doesn't need anything. I don't think it's too strong. I don't think it needs any nerfs or anything. I don't think any of the Spirit hero needs any nerfs. But I do think, and you will agree with me, I'm sure, the Void Spirit is in dire need of a glow up. Everything else seems fine. I haven't had that much experience, quite frankly. The Necro is extremely frustrating to face mid, but it's not too strong. It's by no means too strong. You know, you can explode it, and that's fine. You just get some anti-heal if it's a problem, and your carry gets, or somebody gets a nullifier, and the hero's dead. Okay, it can do nothing. I think that's all I've got for this video. If you've watched this far, I thank you very much for watching. I encourage you, if you like this type of content, to watch my introduction to the channel, as well as... Listen, you're an intelligent person. I'm not going to insult said intelligence that I've just mentioned just a couple of seconds ago, 2.7 seconds ago, by telling you what to do on YouTube. You know what to do on YouTube. Now, if you like my videos, I'm genuinely flattered, and I would very much welcome your comment and everything else. Now, if you don't like my videos, listen, I kind of get it, okay? But the thing is, I'm learning how to do this, right? I'm a noob at Dota, and I'm a much bigger noob at making videos. But we're learning and we're moving. The point is that my graph ultimately is going to look like the Bitcoin graph. Right now, I'm at 0. Okay? So it's 0. Sometimes I get 1 view. Sometimes it goes back down to 0. Sometimes it goes 5 views and then minus 13. And it just goes like that. I think I've got 0 or 1 subscribers, which is really quite remarkable because I have, what, 3, 4, 5 videos? Now this will be the 5th video or whatever. But I'm going to keep making these. It's extremely fun to make these. And you should play Dota. If you're somebody that hasn't played Dota and somehow made it to this point in the video, I implore you to play Dota. And if you want, if there's one demand, I will make a new player guide, which will be extremely painful, tedious process, and it will take me a very, very long time. But I will do that for you. If I have at least 5 comments asking for a new player guide, and I'll do my best to do like a proper new player introduction to the game of Dota, because it's by far the best MOBA on the market, and there's not even a close second, and easily one of, if not the best, greatest competitive games of all time. Now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Amphibious out.